Hi everyone, my name is Melanie Vicedo. I'm the head of Education and Social Work Library Services. This video will discuss services, resources, and research strategies that will help new graduate students use the library and find resources for all their projects. I'll frame this video around the top 5 things I think all new educational leadership students should check off their list as new graduate students here at USC. So the first one is to visit and explore and bookmark the library website. So this is the direct URL to the library's website, libraries.usc.edu. This is what it looks like right now, and you'll find all the information about the resources and services that are available to you as graduate students on this website. So right at the top of the page, you'll find the libraries and hours, locations and services. So we have quite a few libraries here on campus. We have Doheny Library, which is where a lot of the education print materials are located. We have Levy Library, which is open 24 hours during the fall and spring semesters. And we also have a lot of library services. So a lot of the things that you'll need to access can be found here on the site, including your course reserves, different services like interlibrary loan and scan and deliver. And you can also reserve a room if you need a group study room where you're meeting with a group that you're working with, or even if you want to practice a presentation, you need a private space. You can reserve a room for up to 2 hours a day. So definitely check out the website if you do need any of those things. Good news is that we are getting a new website on Monday, August 19th, so pretty soon here. It'll be the same URL, libraries.usc.edu, most of the same information. It'll just look a little bit different. So definitely bookmark this site and explore and get familiar with all the resources that we have. So you can access a lot of the library resources online. This is how most of our students access the library. You can log in here to access library subscriptions off campus or on your laptop. So if you are on a wired computer on campus, more than likely you'll be able to access a lot of the resources seamlessly. I think you will also still have to log in to our proxy server, which is just to say that when you're trying to access online articles or online databases, you'll be asked to log into the USC network, and you'll use your USC ID and password to log in. So again, you can access all your online library resources after logging in, and there are different ways to access the library remotely. So this is one way to do that. Another way is through a VPN system. So if you are familiar with VPNs and you want to use it, go to this site here, USC LIB Remote, and it'll just give you the different options to accessing the library from off campus or on your own device. So a lot of students use MyUSC, and this is a great place to go to to view your records and view other resources. There is a library link directly at MyUSC. So I would select that figure reading a book, select that as libraries. It'll take you to this site, and it'll take you directly, if you actually select USC Libraries website, it'll take you to that website that I just showed you. So if you are at MyUSC, you can access the library as well. So a lot of times I help students and faculty and staff members locate and access research materials. And as a graduate student here, you'll probably be accessing a lot of the peer-reviewed articles, peer-reviewed journals that USC Library subscribes to. We have thousands of subscriptions, and one great thing is you can access most of it online. So you'll want to access peer-reviewed articles to read and to review current and original research. So a lot of times you're going to be asked to look for empirical research. This just means that you are looking for articles that are reporting on research studies. So the authors are reporting on what they've studied. And usually journal articles are talking about relationships between variables. So whether or not our reading intervention is helpful for fourth graders. So those are the variables that they're looking at. So again, USC Libraries does subscribe to a lot of the journals that you're gonna need, and a lot of the articles are available online. So there are different ways of locating and accessing peer-reviewed articles. There's things that we call multidisciplinary databases. So you may be familiar with this already from your other institutions, other academic programs. So we have the USC Libraries website search, which I'll show you in just a minute. And then we have Google Scholar. We have access to Google Scholar, and our subscriptions can be accessed through Google Scholar. We also have subject-specific databases. So again, these are things that like ERIC or PsycInfo, where you may have used this already from other institutions. It's very similar here at USC. So these subject-specific databases are very focused and cover just one subject area and its related areas. So, and I'll talk more about that later in the video. So right now we're going to look at the library website search and Google Scholar. So going back to the library's website, there is that big search box right in the middle of the page. And you can use this to locate journal articles, books, ebooks, all kinds of resources. And you can search by title or topic. So when I say topic, you can type in keywords that describe the topic that you're looking for. Again, maybe reading interventions and elementary school. So you're going to get articles about that topic if you type in those keywords. Also, if you, let's say your professor or your classmate recommends a book to you, you can type in the title of the book here in the search box. If the library has it, you can go to Doheny or whatever library is listed and get the book and check that out. So you have access to print materials and online materials through this search box. And as I mentioned, we are getting a new website. So the search box, or actually the look of the search box is gonna change a bit, but it has the same functionality. So locating the same types of materials and searching will be the same. And this is what that's gonna look like. So the results list, I'm gonna focus on finding journal articles. Right now, this is what that looks like. You'll view different ways that you can limit your results to peer-reviewed journals. So you can select peer-reviewed journals here. And then you can also see if it's available online. So you could select online access to view the article. And you can select that view online link, and it will take you to a link to the article that you're looking for. So select the link there. There's the link to the full text, and it will take you to usually the publisher's website. So I always tell students to look for the PDF link to get the full article. This will change based on the site that you're in. So always look for that link to the PDF, and you'll start noticing that a lot of the pages that you're going to go to will have USC or University of Southern California or access provided by USC somewhere on the page. And this indicates that you are accessing USC Library subscription, so you are on the right page. So this is the results list for the new website that's coming up on August 19th. So again, we're focusing on finding journal articles, and how it's going to be organized in the new site. It's going to be more like a bento box like organization, meaning each type of publication will be in its own box. And then it will still indicate if the article is peer reviewed and available online. So it's a little bit more organized, and it's a little bit, I think it's gonna be a little bit easier to kind of narrow down to what type of material you're looking for. All right, so that was talking about the library website and different features and resources and different types of things you can access through the site. Now, some of you may be really familiar with using Google Scholar, and here at USC, a lot of folks use it. I use it sometimes as well. And one thing that I need you all to do is to update and save your Google Scholar settings. So this means that you are setting up your account so it is accessing the USC Library subscriptions. So you can go to scholar.google.com. I would always suggest logging into your Google account. I know the your USC account does have that option to hook up to Google. And so what that means, like I said, is if you are using Google Scholar through USC, you're going to start finding these full text links, these Find It at USC links. So that means you're accessing the full text. So to update the settings, you can go to the Google Scholar site, select the little hamburger icon on the left-hand side of the page, and this will open up another window that has a widget icon. And this will take you to your settings. So this is what that looks like. You're going to select library links right here. You're going to type in USC in the search box, hit search, and then you're going to select University of Southern California, Find It at USC. So once you hit save, every time you access Google Scholar, it'll tell the system that you are part of the USC Library system, and it'll show you those Find It at USC links. Once you select Find It at USC, you'll be able to access the full text of the article. So sometimes it may ask you to log in to the USC network, and that just means you're being authenticated, or your account is getting authenticated, so we know that you are a current USC student. All right, so that's Google Scholar. Another thing I want you to explore and get familiar with, and also bookmark, is the Education Research Guide. So this research guide is specifically for Rossier students and faculty. It's a kind of a curated website that I created where I'm pulling in a lot of the resources, a lot of the links that will be useful specifically for education students and their research. So like I mentioned, the library website is a comprehensive site where you can access all of the different things the library has to offer. This is more, like I said, curated, where it's very useful for if you're starting research on education topics. So this is the URL up here, liveguides.usc.edu/education. And just to give you a quick rundown on the page, these links on the left-hand side will take you to various pages with useful info for research and writing. So things like finding research materials, APA style, tests and measurements. So this will take you to different pages that will be helpful for your research needs. The middle part of the page, if you're just looking for particular things, kind of a quick start thing, if you're looking for peer-reviewed articles, I tell you exactly where to go. So looking for certain things, the middle page will give you some quick links on that. And on the right-hand side of the page is my contact info. So an important part of this guide is the finding research materials part. So this page will give you those subject-specific article databases that I mentioned earlier that are more focused on particular subjects or areas. So, like I said, Eric will cover education related topics and subjects. So will education source. We have access to psych info, which is more behavioral sciences and psychology, also very useful for education research. So this is where you'll go if you are if you want to look for articles on those particular topics and you've already looked at the library website search and Google Scholar. This will give you a more focused search. It'll give you less results, but you'll find that the results will be very relevant and it pertains to the area or the education area that you're looking at. So this is just what Eric looks like. We have access to Eric through a couple of different sites, but I like to use the ProQuest site. It has different features that are a little bit more user friendly, and it allows you to save your searches, save citations, and also look at how to cite certain articles. So this will again allow you to search through journals and other publications related to the education area. So one good thing about one feature I like in databases is the alerts feature. So Google Scholar has this, Eric has this, PsycInfo. Most databases have this feature where you can actually create an alert. And so based on your search, you create an alert. And every time a new item is added into that database that is relevant to your search or that falls in line with the search terms that you used, you'll get an email with a link to those articles. So you're basically receiving new materials added to your added to the database in your inbox. So this is a good way of keeping track of new research. So just some quick tips before searching databases or search engines. Write down your topic in question. Pull out the major concepts of your topic or question and use those as keywords. So databases like it when you use keywords instead of full sentences or full questions. So pick 2 or 3 keywords to use and use those as your initial search. So always note or make a note of the databases and or search engines that you're using. Keep track of those keywords and keep track of the databases you're using. Which ones brought useful results, which keywords are not working. You may have to revise them or think of other related terms or synonyms. This will help you save some time and keep track of what's working. And what's not working, so you don't keep using the same things that are not working over and over again. All right, so we've come to number 4 on our new EDL, Student Library Checklist. This is to log into the interlibrary loan and scan and deliver system. So a lot of you may have used the interlibrary loan service in your other academic institutions, other libraries that you've used, even maybe the public library. Interlibrary loan allows you to obtain an article, usually always now in PDF, book or ebook that's not owned by the USC Libraries. So if we're probably going to have the article that you need or the book that you need, but there are times when we don't carry a particular book or article. We can get it from another library and get that to you either as a PDF if it's an article or a book chapter, and get it to you as a physical material, a print book, if it is a print book that you need. So interlibrary loan allows you to go beyond what USC Libraries has and get the material that you need for your dissertation or for other projects that you're working on. We also have a service called Scan and Deliver. So I think this is a really cool service where, let's say you need a book chapter from a particular book. You already know that, I only need 1 or 2 chapters from this book, I don't need the entire book, you can actually ask the library to scan those 2 chapters, and then we'll email it to you in PDF format. So there may be an older article that's only available in print. What we'll do is actually get that print article, scan it, and deliver it to you in a PDF. So this allows you to get materials that are owned by USC that may only be available in print format and you need it as a PDF, or if you just need a chapter or two only available in print, you can get that through the scan and deliver service. So to access interlibrary loan and document delivery or scan and deliver, you can go to the library website. There's a link to the interlibrary loan or scan and deliver at the bottom of the homepage. It'll take you to this page here. You'll select USC Libraries. Do not select Health Sciences Libraries. It has a different service. And what you're going to use is USC Libraries IDD. And this is what that looks like after you log into your USC, using your USC ID and password. So this gives you different features or different ways to borrow things or to request things. If you need a book, a thesis, or an article, this is where you'll request those materials. For students in the online program, I highly suggest logging into your account, going to your account information under My Account, and change your user information. So I would suggest updating your mailing address and changing your status to distance user, because for online students or for students in the online program, we can actually mail library books to your home address if you do need a library book from one of our many libraries. So you're not limited to only what's available online. If you do look into our catalog through the homepage of the library, in that search box, you find a library book that you need, you can request it through our service, and we will mail that book to you. So, and we also actually provide return postage. So don't limit yourself to what you find online. If you do find something in print in one of our libraries, you can request it. And this is for our online students who are in our online program. We will deliver library books to your home address. All right, so we are almost at the end of our list, or actually we're at the end. I'll have a few more things right after number 5, but this is a really important one. So creating an account for a citation manager. So citation managers, or sometimes folks refer to it as reference managers, they help you keep track of your research, organize citations, create bibliographies. They help you save PDFs of articles and other documents. A lot of them are web-based, so you can access it anytime you have an internet connection. So there's a lot out there. A lot of the ones that are used here at USC are Zotero, EndNote. EndNote is used a lot in the medical sciences. Mendeley is popular, and RefWorks. There may also be some that your classmates use or your professors. So my suggestion is to explore some of them. Also ask your classmates, ask your professors what they use, and if they like it, I would go with their recommendation. You can also look at this site that's listed on the screen. It'll give you a rundown of RefWorks, Zotero, and Mendeley, and it'll help you choose which one is right for you. So here at USC, we actually give you access at no cost to RefWorks. I use RefWorks, so it has unlimited storage. You can use your USC email to create a free account. And this is what RefWorks looks like. So Once you start importing citations, it'll be listed in your all documents section. You can create different folders for the different projects you have, maybe even different chapters, chapter 1, chapter 2 of your dissertation. This will allow you to create a bibliography. It also allows you to share your folder. If you're working with a group, you can share your folder with your group. And a feature that a lot of citation managers have is connecting the citation managers and all the citations that you downloaded or saved into a writing software. So like Word, Microsoft Word, here I've connected RefWorks to Google Docs. So this is my Google Docs account. This is a document that I'm working on. You'll notice at the top of the page, I added RefWorks as an add-on. So if I select add-on, select RefWorks, and select Manage Citations, it'll actually open up a new window on the side of the page with all the citations and all the references I've saved. So one thing I could do is I can select Cite This. I select an article I wanted to cite. It actually creates the in-text citation and starts a reference list in alphabetical order based on what I wanted to cite. So I think this just, it saves you some time. It allows you to organize all your citations and all your references in one place, which is really useful. This is actually a really good time to start using a citation manager at the start of your graduate career here at USC, just because you'll have some time to explore, get to know the different features. Maybe there's some students who start a citation manager in the middle of writing a project, or even at the beginning of their dissertation. That's probably not the best time to create or start a citation manager, just because of the time constraints. So this is a perfect time at the start of your graduate career to create an account with a citation manager. So again, you can go to refworks.proquest.com, create an account with your USC email. We do have a reference guide, a research guide all about RefWorks. So this gives you the instructions on how to create an account, but also videos on how to get started, really quick videos on importing citations, creating bibliographies, and things like that. All right. So really quickly, research tips and support. I just want to remind you that writing is not linear and research is not linear. So always give yourself some time to really dig into the research, to revise and search for information, develop your ideas, because it is iterative, it is cyclical. And so I find that when folks do give themselves time, they can find the articles they need and really develop all their ideas. I know it does take forming habits to do this. And one thing that I do want to remind you of is that setting aside time to do research will allow you to actually use different resources that the library has for you. So, for example, if you do need to use interlibrary loan, it may take us some time to find the book that you need or the article that you need. So give us some time to do that. It'll actually give you also some time to use the different resources here at USC. Just some tips, set aside the time to plan your assignment and plan your research. Give yourself plenty of time to do that research. Again, sometimes you find articles, you read it, it looks good. You start developing your plan or your ideas for writing the paper that you want. And as you're writing, or even as you're reading the articles, you develop new ideas and new directions that you want to go to. So I say just, give yourself some time to do that. What I do for the most part is look at the due date of my project and work backwards. So this is just an example. It may be a really protracted way of looking at it, but just an example of like working backwards, knowing that if my paper is due in November, I will give myself time to search for articles, read the articles, and then search for other articles, then develop ideas, write the draft, and then revise my paper, and maybe even, find more articles and include more information in my paper. So just some tips on reading journal articles and taking notes. I read journal articles, the sections of it actually out of order. Usually, definitely I read the abstract. It tells me if it's going to be useful for me, what the results were, and why they conducted this research. Then I read the introduction and also the discussion. Then I read the other sections. So I do take notes. I suggest taking notes while you're reading. If you could do this on the article, maybe even Google Docs or Evernote, or if you want to do analog, notebooks or index cards are useful too. I usually summarize the sections of the articles, or even summarize what the article is about in my own words, just so I know that I understood what was being reported, and also I can summarize, or I know exactly what the research was all about. So I would highlight sparingly as well. Before I got into habit of just highlighting most of the items in the article, I would just highlight the things that you found really important. And then also note the source when pulling a direct quote from articles or books. So a lot of times we pull direct quotes and then we just keep on reading and move on to the next article. And if you do want to refer to that quote, or actually even use the quote in your paper, and you forget where it is or where it came from, that's the hard part. So definitely always note the source when pulling a direct quote. Write it down on your notebook or in your Google Docs or whatever you want to use for your notes. So we do have a lot of support from for graduate students here at the library. I suggest going to the website, go and ask a librarian. This will give you different options of accessing research support. On the new website, we have the same thing. It's just called Ask Us, and it's at the top right-hand corner. And this is what it usually looks like. We have an FAQ, frequently asked questions. You could type in a couple of keywords that may answer your question. You can send an email to a general email address. Librarians take turns checking this inbox, and we answer it every day. You can call the Doheny Library Reference Desk. We have different hours for fall and spring. And then you can access a library's chat. So again, these are different hours during fall and spring. This is where you can talk to a live person and ask about research or resources that the library has that you may have questions about. Then we also have subject librarians. So subject specialists work with each school or department or area here at USC. We have different subject specialists that may pertain to your own research. For the most part, you will be working in education, but there may be different areas that you're looking into. So, for example, Amy Solis is our social sciences data librarian. That means that she's specializes in data, she specializes in statistics and kind of using data in your research. Stacy Williams is the head of the art and architecture library. So maybe you are working on education research, but it does pertain to art or like physical spaces of a school or art education. You may want to talk to Stacy about different aspects of that. So you can look at a list of librarians through the URL on the page. And certainly you have access to the education librarian, which is me, Melanie Vicedo. My contact information is on the screen. The best way to reach me is through email, and I usually meet with students if they do need a little bit more in-depth help. I can meet in person. My office is on the University Park campus. I can meet over the phone. I also have a Zoom account, so we can meet in a Zoom room and talk about your research needs. So my contact info is on the screen. So this video just gave you information and that the top 5 things I think you all should do to be successful here as graduate students and to really utilize the library resources that are here for you and here for your research. So if you do need additional help, please don't hesitate to contact me or others at the library. Thank you.